Hello and welcome to episode 169 of The Pilgrimage on FM23. I'm Jamie, and coming up on today's episode I will have the first two qualifiers of my reign as England manager, where we'll be at home to Slovenia and at home to Gibraltar. But before all of that, I'm going to show you the World Cup qualifying standings as they are now, and then introduce you to the squad. So I'll be back in a moment with that qualifying table. Okay, so here is the table going into our first two games in charge, and as you can see we're in second place behind Belgium, who are the only team to have beaten England so far in qualifying. So let's get straight on with it, and I'll introduce you to my first squad in just a moment. Okay, here is the first squad I've selected then, and we'll begin with the goalkeepers. We've got Nick Carter, who is from Arsenal and is 31 years old. We've got Lewis Downs, who's 26 and currently playing for Brighton and Hove Albion. And we've got Gatis Ostrovskis, who is 21 and plays for Ipswich Town. He's the only one of the goalkeepers yet to win a cap for England. And then we move on to right backs. We've got Bradley Wright, who's a 26-year-old from West Ham, who has 55 caps for England. The uncapped Peter Francis is 22 and plays for Barcelona. And Chase Bryan is 21, uncapped, and plays for Chelsea. Moving on to central defence, we've got Andrew Evans, who is 31 and plays for Bayern Munich with 75 caps already to his name. Louis Jackson is 29, and you'll remember him from my time at Newcastle, where he still plays. He's got 42 caps so far. And Mark Talbot is another Newcastle central defender, 24 years of age, 20 caps to his name so far. And there's a third Newcastle centre-back in Sam Satilmis, who is 22 years old and has 16 caps. Moving on to left back, we've got Jack Lake, a 34-year-old playing for Liverpool, who has 110 caps. We've got Chris Barron, who is 22, plays for Tottenham and is yet to win his first cap for England. Moving on into midfield, and we've got Sharon Mars, who's a defensive midfielder, 33 years old, plays for Monaco and has 37 caps. Fellow defensive midfielder Willem Ainsworth is 29, plays for Tottenham and has 48 caps. And another defensive midfielder is Abdoulaye Suleiman, who is 20 years old and uncapped and plays for Arsenal. So into central midfield, just two central midfielders in the squad. Jude Bellingham, who will be familiar to everybody. He's now 38 years old and plies his trade with Liverpool and has a quite astonishing 203 caps for England. And Alex Chambers is 24, plays for Chelsea and has 20 caps. Moving on to right wing, we've got Ngoyan Tan, who is 32, plays for Chelsea and has 58 caps. And we've got Danjuma Abdullahi, who is 28, plays for Manchester City and has been capped 24 times so far. Moving on to left wing, we've got Ryan Kedwell, who plays for Lyon, 25 years old and has been capped twice so far. And Romario Hart is 23, an Arsenal player and yet to win his first cap. And then up front, Joseph Ghiazi, who's a 34-year-old, plays for Chelsea, has 142 caps and 91 goals for England. And he's joined up front by Luke Gillam, who's also 34, 104 caps, 65 goals and plays for Tottenham. So now you've met the squad, it's time for the first match of my reign, and the team is coming up for that one in just a moment. Okay, here is my first ever selection for England for the match against Slovenia at Wembley. And the starting 11 is Nick Carter in goal, back four of Barron, Satilmis, Talbot and Wright, Francis at the base of midfield, Bellingham and Ainsworth ahead of him, Kedwell on the left, Abdullahi on the right, Ghiazi up front. So let's submit the team and go and give a team talk. Okay, my assistant is suggesting I want to see a marked improvement from all of you tonight. I'm going to disagree with him purely on the grounds that it's my first game in charge, so everyone's getting a completely free slate, and I'm going to go pump fists, and I'm going to say this is a match we should be winning. Make sure we do. Let's get out into the tunnel for our tunnel interview. You're about to take charge of your first match as England manager. Can you sum up your feelings on an occasion like this? Special day. I want us to find a higher level we know we're capable of reaching. Am I hopeful of a performance? If we play as we're capable, we'll be fine. And we're underway. So let's kick things off and let's see if we can get the win that we need. So I'm going to put the group standings up so that we can keep an eye on them. And it's Abdullahi with the free kick, headed across, and Podkrasek saves for Slovenia. So the first attack comes to nothing, and Podkrasek launches it, rights under it, and finds Talbot. Satilmis to Bellingham, back to Satilmis, finds Talbot, into Francis, finds Ainsworth, onto Abdullahi, who turns, runs at the defence, and keeps the ball, finds Talbot, who gives it straight back to him. Abdullahi plays it through for Kedwell, who shoots across the keeper, and Ryan Kedwell makes it England 1, Slovenia 0 after 8 minutes. So great start to my reign in charge of England. Can we keep it going? We're immediately into another highlight. Cranch plays it in, but Talbot's cleared it. Francis to Talbot. Bellingham plays it forward for Kedwell, and he plays it out to the left for Barron, who shoots, and it's high, wide, and not very handsome. And the highlight comes to an end. We've gone above Belgium briefly until they take the lead in their game. Not sure who they're playing, can't see their score, but they've gone back above us, so they must be ahead. Carter collects the cross there from the Slovenians, bowls it out to Talbot. He comes forward, finds Bellingham, into Kedwell, who beats Cranch, gets into the area, beats his man, cuts it back, and it's all the way through to Abdullahi on the far side, who's been fouled. And we'll get a free kick, which Abdullahi will take right-footed, so it'll be an outswinger to the far post. It's headed away. Bellingham collects on the left, turns, plays it into Kedwell, who crosses. Ghiazi back to Francis. Abdullahi. Ghiazi again to Bellingham, who crosses. Ainsworth's header is saved by Podkrasek. And it remains 1-0 as we approach the half hour. Belgium must still be ahead. Can't see their game. in the scores, but they must be leading. They're 4-0 up against Kazakhstan, so they're not dropping any points today. And they're 1 point clear of us at the top of the group as we reach half-time, 1-0 up. Doing well. We can definitely find another gear. So let's have a look for potential changes. Mark Talbot's tiring, so we'll get him off. And we'll bring on Louis Jackson. And we'll also take off Ryan Kedwell. And we'll bring on Ngoyan. I'm going to call him Ngoyan because it's easier to say. And we'll start the second half. So we're underway. And let's see if we can build on a decent first half performance. Demand more. Jackson into Bellingham. Back to Satilmis. Satilmis finds Jackson. Plays it back to Carter, who gives it straight back to Jackson. To Wright into Ainsworth. Abdullahi on the right hand side. Looking for support, plays a ball forward for Wright, who's beaten to it by Podkracek, and Podkracek launches it, and Gombuch wins the header. Demastia's cross, and Carter makes a save, but Demastia looks like their danger man at the moment. Satilmis with the ball now, finds Bellingham, turns, plays it to Ngoyan, who's beaten in the air. Vajda, but it's won back by Wright. Abdullahi threads it through for Ghiazi, who scores. And it is England 2, Slovenia 0. And this game should now be over. So Ghiazi now on a decent rating, whereas before he was struggling a little bit. As Basquera takes the throw in. Ivanusa to Vajda. And that's a penalty. No doubt about that one. It'll be reviewed, but it's a pen all day long. Given, there we go. Can Nick Carter be the hero and keep us 2-0 up? Demastia with the spot kick. Demastia sends the keeper the wrong way. England 2, Slovenia 1, and we need a demand more and probably a couple of changes. So demand more as Ghiazi's over a free kick for England, curls it round the wall and it's saved by the keeper. Abdullahi with the corner to the far post, headed across. Ainsworth back out to Abdullahi. Cuts in field and it's cleared, but Bellingham collects and the highlight comes to an end. So Basquera with the throw in gets it back, launches it forward, but Louis Jackson's under it, finds Satilmis. Francis to Bellingham, finds Ngoyan I should say, and Ghiazi finishes the chance and makes it 3-1 to England, and that should be enough to guarantee the win. So we'll pause it there and we'll make a couple of changes. Right, Bradley Wright can come off to be replaced by Chase Bryan, and Abdullahi can come off to be replaced by Romario Hart. Oh, we're out of subs. 3 only. Oops. So we'll continue the match then. So those are our only subs. We've got half an hour now with what we've got out there on the pitch. As we lose possession, Lorber to Rosmanic, Gomboch to Basquera, Bosquera's ball forward for Cranch. It's deflected away and Francis picks it up, finds Ainsworth. Bellingham plays it into Nguyen. Abdullahi takes over on the right hand side, crosses for Ainsworth, and it's a weak shot. The highlight comes to an end. And we are comfortably in the lead at 3-1. Ghiazi's free kick and Podkrashek makes the save. So we'll get a corner. And Abdullahi with the right-footed in swinger. Deep to the far post. Headed behind, so it'll be a corner on the other side. And this, I think, will be an outswinger. It is. It's a right-footed outswinger from Abdullahi. His ball in. It's headed up and away, but Jackson wins it back. Abdullahi to Jackson. Abdullahi shoots. Podkrashek makes the save. So into the final 20 minutes. Carter with the goal kick to Jackson. Plays, in fact he runs with it rather than playing it. Then plays it square to Satilmis, who holds the ball, finds Francis. Bellingham to Nguyen, and it's given away. Damastia to Zivec. Satilmis intercepts the ball and looks for a pass, finds Francis. Bellingham threads it through for Ghiazi, who wrong foots the keeper, and Joseph Ghiazi makes it England 4, Slovenia 1, and in the process gets himself a hat-trick. So Nguyen is carrying an injury now and will surely not be fit for the next match. And so there will be changes for that one. There would have been anyway, but there will definitely be changes. Janez Kranč has delivered a second goal for Slovenia, and it is England 4, Slovenia 2. So it's not done and dusted yet. As we enter the final 10 minutes, let's demand more. And just remind the lads that this isn't job done. And we're into stoppage time. We've got a free kick. Abdullahi over it. Right-footed, so it'll swing towards the goal, and he shoots, but Podkrashek makes the save, so it'll be the out-swinging corner from Abdullahi, and it's headed away by Lorber as Abdullahi collects the ball and shoots, but it's a weak one, and Podkrashek makes an easy save. Into the final 30 seconds of added time, Jackson's header forward is intercepted. Gomboch, Brian's won it back, but he's guilty of a foul there, and he's got away without a booking, thankfully. So this should be the final act of the match, and it's Ivanusa. And the free kick is taken, but then the final whistle sounds immediately. England 4, Slovenia 2, and I'll be back in a moment with the second match of today's episode. Okay, time now for the second match of today's episode, and this time it is Gibraltar that we face at Wembley. And the team for this one: Carter in goal, back four of Lake, Satilmis, Talbot and Wright. Chambers at the base of midfield, Bellingham and Ainsworth ahead of him. Kedwell on the left, Abdullahi on the right, Ghiazi up front. So let's submit the team and go and give a team talk. Okay, my assistant thinks I should go with if you carry your last performance into this match, we'll do well. I'm going to completely disagree with him, actually. I'm going to pump the fists and tell them we're favourites and we should be winning this comfortably. And let's get out there and do it. How guarded do I have to be against complacency, considering the differing form between the two teams? I don't think we'll be complacent, but it will be interesting. We'll have to make sure we seize the initiative. I think that's fair. How will you be looking to build on an impressive performance last time out against Slovenia? We will always want to keep playing well and doing the best we can. It's much easier after a good performance. Why is Jack Lake set to play in a different position today? He's got the flexibility and versatility to play in different positions. Basically, I'm using the opportunity to experiment because we should be winning this game easily. So this is the perfect opportunity to do it. But the first highlight is actually a Gibraltar highlight. Street plays it to Pias. Gracia, Pias to Stanley, plays it forward. There's nobody there. Wright collects easily. Finds Satilmis. Into Lake. Finds Bellingham. To Kedwell on the left, who speeds forward. And is going to look for a cross. Finds it. And Joseph Giazi has opened the scoring on 4 minutes. It's England 1, Gibraltar 0. And that takes us to the top of the group as it stands. Belgium playing Slovenia. So I fully expect them to win that one. Abdullahi's free kick. And that's gone all the way through. And it's a penalty. And I'm hoping it's going to be Giazi to take. Penalty's given. And taking the spot kick is Chambers. He scores. So England lead by 2-0 with just under 11 minutes gone. And this game is already looking like a foregone conclusion. With Belgium yet to take the lead against Slovenia, we remain top of the group. Wright with the throw-in finds Chambers. Back to Wright, who crosses. Giazi heads it home. And that's 3-0. And we've only played 16 minutes. So the game is already as good as won. Lake with the throw-in finds Chambers into Bellingham. Lake to Kedwell. Diagonal ball forward to the right-hand side. Abdullahi will keep this in. And does. Plays it through for Ainsworth. Crosses for Giazi. And he's got another one. That's 4-0. And Giazi's got himself a hat-trick inside 20 minutes. Abdullahi's corner. And that's hit the crossbar from the header. Ainsworth collects. Gets into the area. And that is a corner. So outswinger from Abdullahi. I'll have these fixed for the next round of international games. Abdullahi to Kedwell. Gives it straight back to him. Abdullahi cleared by Gibraltar, but we come again. Bellingham into Abdullahi. And it's offside. So the highlight breaks down. And we've got a corner again. It's Abdullahi with another outswinger. And that's cleared. And out for... In fact, it doesn't go for a throw-in. Ortega's kept it in. Clears it long upfield. But there's nobody there. And it'll go all the way through to Carter, who finds Satilmis to Bellingham. Diagonal ball forward for Abdullahi. Gets it down. And Willem Ainsworth makes it England 5. Gibraltar 0. And there's 27 minutes gone. Bellingham's ball forward to the left for Kedwell. Plays it back to Bellingham. Crosses. And it's headed away. Kedwell to Chambers. Back to Lake, who chips it into the area. And Abdullahi shoots through the goalkeeper. And... it's offside, so it won't be 6-0. Although the VAR's overruled him and it is 6-0. And we've not even reached half time yet. Lake's throw in, headed away. Bellingham gives the ball away, but Ainsworth wins it back, finds Ghiazi, back to Chambers. It's clipped in for Abdullahi, and the keeper gets there easily. So Thick with the clearance, launches it, but Talbot's under it, brings it over halfway, comes forward into the area, crosses, and the ball is deflected behind for a corner. So it's Abdullahi with the right-footed outswinger into the middle, headed away. Kedwell gets there first. Abdullahi into Kedwell, crosses, and Ghiazi can't get there, so it's out for a goal kick to Gibraltar, and the highlight comes to an end. Ainsworth to Wright, to Talbot, gives it back to Wright, who plays it forward to Abdullahi on the right wing. It's crossed in, and the shot is saved by the goalkeeper, so it remains 6-0. And now it's a corner on the other side. Abdullahi right-footed to the far post. Bellingham with the header makes it England 7, Gibraltar 0. And we've played 36 minutes. Now we've got another corner. Abdullahi right-footed. Again, it's a far post corner. Ainsworth collects. Still Mr. Talbot. Abdullahi shoots off the woodwork, and Harrison will get it clear for Gibraltar. And we've got yet another highlight in the first half. Talbot to Ainsworth, into Bellingham, finds Kedwell, chips it into Abdullahi, who fires it past the keeper at the near post, and that is 8-0, and it's a second for Abdullahi. And that surely is going to be the end of the scoring in the first half. It is. Half time, England 8, Gibraltar 0. So let's go into the dressing room. Doing brilliantly, keep going. And we're only going to change anybody for fitness related reasons in this game. We don't need to, so let's get straight back out there. Start the second half. And it's Thick with the clearance for Gibraltar. Harrison gives it away to Kedwell into the area. Kedwell gets to the byline, pulls it back for Lake. Abdullahi, and that's cleared behind, but it's via an England deflection for a goal kick, and the highlight comes to an end. And Belgium are now 3-0 up, so we are not top of the group. They've scored 3 quick goals towards the end of the first half of their game. Abdullahi's cross, Talbot with the header, and that's 9-0 to England, unless it's disallowed for offside, of course. And VAR is having a look. The goal's given, it is 9-0. So we get the ball back underway. Gibraltar come forward, but Lake wins it back. Chambers to Bellingham, crossfield ball for Abdullahi, gets there to keep it in. It's cleared, but Talbot collects, plays it across to Satilmis, into Bellingham. Plays it back to Satilmis. Chambers to Wright, into the area but cleared, and Wright collects the clearance, so he'll get the chance to put it in again. Ainsworth's effort is charged down. Satilmis collects the clearance, finds Lake. Bellingham, ball over the top for Abdullahi, who turns, gets into the area, and shoots himself past the keeper. And that's a 10th goal for England. And it's an Abdullahi hat-trick. England 10, Gibraltar 0. And this is completely comfortable. Abdullahi's free kick now, right-footed, round the wall, and he makes it 11-0. And we should probably look towards making substitutions now. So we'll take Wright off at right back, and we'll bring on Peter Francis, and we'll take Bellingham off, and we'll bring on Suleiman, and we'll take Abdullahi off, and we'll bring on Joe Watson as Joseph Ghiazi gets a goal, and it's 12-0. So under 15 minutes left with 12 to the good, and looking very, very comfortable indeed. Headed away, Chambers picks it up, plays it to Ghiazi on the left, into the area. Ghiazi gets to the byline, pulls it back, Kedwell shoots, Thick makes a save, and surely he's just going to launch this down the pitch. He does, straight down the middle. Satilmis wins the header and then gets it back from Suleiman and gives it straight back to him. Lake's ball forward for Kedwell on the left, crossed in. Ghiazi, has he added number 13 for England? It's been reviewed by VAR, and the verdict is it's a goal. It is England 13, Gibraltar 0, and that's a 5th goal for Ghiazi. And there's your full-time whistle. England 13, Gibraltar 0. I'll be back in a moment to show you the league table and tell you what's coming up on the next episode. Okay, here is the qualifying table as it stands following those 2 games. And as you can see, we are in 2nd place in the group. Belgium did indeed win their game comfortably, 6-0 in the end. So Belgium topped the group with 16 points from their 6 matches so far. We're 2nd with 15 points from 6. Greece in 3rd on 13 points. And everybody else is trailing miles behind and completely out of the equation. So let's have a look at the schedule and tell you what's coming up on the next episode. And on the next episode we'll face Greece away and Kazakhstan at home. So if you've enjoyed that, please leave a nice thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for Monday to Friday Football Manager videos. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and goodbye.